Hey, my name is Brian. That is Shane. This is the Popcast, and today we're talking about the Top Gun Maverick movie. Let me rephrase that. We're talking about Top Gun: Space Maverick, the new Top Gun movie coming out. Tom Cruise returning to his famous role. Supposed to be coming out very shortly, but it was moved. In addition to it being moved because of probably because of the bug fear. I can't actually say the word for fear of it being throttled.
You can't actually say the word, right?
You can't say the word on YouTube. So probably for fear of the current bug that's going around.
But we can actually go into a little more detail about it too.
Right, we were going to. I'm just giving you a quick summary.
I think that, yeah.
What?
Well, you say probably, but it's actually that is
definitely because the bug.
Yes.
Also, we're gonna be talking about some stuff with Val Kilmer coming back and the AI they used, and this is just a general discussion of what's going on with Top Gun, and I find it all fascinating. I wasn't even really excited to watch the movie until I started reading all the articles. Now I'm like, oh, now I want to see this movie more than before. Shane, what you got, buddy?
Yeah, Top Gun is one of those movies where, it's from the 80s. I was in high school and it was just the biggest movie of all time. It seemed like at that time. It wasn't really the biggest movie of all time, but it was a huge movie. It brought so much recruiting to the Navy. It was ridiculous. It's like their number one boost in recruiting during that time after Top Gun. Everybody wanted to be a pilot. So the fact that that Tom Cruise is revisiting this, and we've known about this for so long. I think they started production on this. It must be like 3 years ago, right? 2 to 3 years ago, we knew this was coming, right?
Right.
And we were finally getting to the place where it was going to be like, okay, yes, we're going to get to finally see the sequel, the 35 years later. 30 years later sequel to Top Gun with
87 years later, and Tom Cruise still looks like the same guy.
Yeah, time has been good to him. I guess money really helps.
Man, when you put him up against Val Kilmer, I gotta be like, what's going on, Val?
Well, Val's got some crazy stuff going on anyways. You see, he's got a documentary on Amazon about his life.
Oh, I knew that he was going through some stuff when I started seeing a lot of those, I don't even want to call them B movies. I want to call them C movies show up on streaming where it was like him and like that one guy. What's that guy's Van Damme or whatever that guy's name is?
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
No, the other guy. What's the other guy from that? The other, not Jean-Claude Van Damme, but the even more ridiculous guy.
Steve Seagal.
Yeah, there was a movie with him and like Steve Seagal, and they're both super fat, and they're being like, they're trying to be action stars. They're like, and you're like, this is, and all the shots are like super epic, but it's a couple fat old guys that are clearly really slow with everything they're doing. Oh man, I gotta find this movie, and we gotta do like a members watch through or something because.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It was that crazy.
I don't know how we can do it without getting like flagged. Maybe like put it real small on the bottom or something. Have like
something, yeah.
But dude, it is absolutely hilarious, and the best kind of hilarious because it was not meant to be hilarious.
Okay, well then, let's talk more about that when we go into the Val Kilmer section because we're going to do that. Let's talk about this news, which is brand new news today. So it says Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible 7. So there's something else tied to this. As well as Jackass, actually, release delayed amid the Delta surge. Paramount has delayed its Tom Cruise tentpoles, Top Gun Maverick and Mission Impossible 7 amid the surge. And that actually made me wonder, like when I got this news, I was like, is it a Tom Cruise thing? Is there, what's really going on here? Because it was both of his movies, but then come to find out, Jackass was included. Top Gun Maverick will now open in theaters May 27th, 2022, instead of this November 19th, 2021. So a little over 6 months, 6 months and a week.
Wow. And even worse, Jackass was moved up. And I was looking
right. So definitely. So Mission Impossible 7 will debut September 30th, 2022. So a year plus a year away, when it was going to be this coming up May. And also as part of the studio's announcement, Jackass Forever has been pushed back from October 22nd, 2022, just a couple months, to February 4th, 2022.
Bro,
So
that was my birthday movie, man.
yeah, I know, right? That was going to be your birthday movie?
Yeah.
Well, at first I thought, okay, this is a Tom Cruise thing, but then I started to realize, okay, they are pushing some other things back. As a result of Top Gun Maverick's move, Ghostbusters Afterlife is actually pushing back a week to fill into that November 19th slot.
Oh, that's good for Ghostbusters.
They want to get closer to Thanksgiving, I
Yeah.
believe.
No, that's
there.
fantastic for Ghostbusters because
Yeah.
now it becomes a holiday movie with the family.
Right. You're right. They didn't want to compete with Top Gun. And now that time frame is pretty wide open for them now. I don't think there's going to be any competition in November. So let's see why. So basically what's happening here is there was a research conducted by NRG, which is a research group. It said 67% of moviegoers say they are very or somewhat comfortable visiting their local theater. Now that's down by 11 points from July, when it was 58%. Yeah, so it's 50.
Up.
I'm sorry.
That's up, right?
No. Let me go through this again. Research conducted. Okay, it was 67% in July. Now it's down to 58%.
Oh, I see.
So what's happened is it's dropped, and it's made Paramount kind of uncomfortable. Why is it made Paramount uncomfortable? Because they don't have what Disney Plus and Warner Brothers are doing with HBO Max. They don't have the release it into the theaters and release it to streaming at the same time.
I don't know. They have Paramount Plus.
They do have it, but they don't have that model yet in place.
Yeah, I mean they did release a movie that went a high budget live action movie that went straight to Paramount Plus with Mark Wahlberg called Infinity, and it was a lot of big budget, a lot of actors.
But it didn't do well, right?
I mean, we have no idea. There's no way to tell because the numbers.
Well,
it didn't go in theaters. It was only on Paramount Plus.
Well, let me tell you what. I have Paramount Plus and I didn't watch it. I didn't even know about it. So it must not have done well. You know what I'm saying? So did you watch it?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I liked it as much as you can like a Mark Wahlberg movie where he's playing some guy is like 800 years old. You know, it's not very believable concept, but it's fun.
Someday you're going to have to tell me how you get so much content down. I can't do it. But here, I'll tell you this.
Bro, I don't actually sleep. I tape my eyes open and I queue up content on the TV. My brain goes to sleep, but then I ingest the content.
You ingest
cerebral.
the content.
Yeah.
Dang, like a board, dude. I love it.
Also, there's something. I'm sorry, a little sidetrack here, but Shane cannot have like TV on one screen and work on the other. He can't do it. He's got to 100% put all of his being into one thing. Probably because he does a lot of writing. And it's very hard to write while someone's talking. But I do a lot of graphics, which
that's true.
It's not really the same. It's all like a visual artist. So I'm hearing and I glance over once. I could watch a lot more content than Shane can.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Plus, I'm an addict. This is the first step of my road to recovery, which I don't actually plan on completing.
That is the first step. Awareness is where it's at. So what's really happened here is Paramount Plus is afraid, and because they're not using the same model as Disney Plus, which they could, Paramount Plus could very easily do that. Although now we've got that new streaming service, remember, that's going to kick out, that's going to include Paramount Plus. Remember?
Why can't they just partner with Amazon or iTunes or whatever the way other studios have? There's other studios that don't have streaming services, but it was their stuff was available in theaters and on early theater release on Amazon or iTunes or both.
Well, the reason why I think is because Paramount Plus is in this weird middle ground. So they aren't completely desperate to need something like Amazon, but yet they're not quite Disney Plus, HBO Max level.
Yeah, they might not have the system in place to actually purchase in their various apps either.
So they know that in order for them to make money, and listen, Top Gun Maverick is one of those movies, one of those second movies that's only going to happen once. So if it happens and they've spent so much money on it, that if it's bad, it's going to really hurt Paramount. So it's got to be good. And they're like, you know what? Ain't going to hurt. We'll keep pushing it. It's not like people aren't going to go see it 6 months later. And they picked another holiday. So they picked Memorial Day weekend, which is a big movie weekend.
Oh, especially for Top Gun.
Yeah.
It's
So
a military movie and all that.
right. So they probably thought in their minds, now because they pushed that, now they had to push Mission Impossible 7, which will still get views, but is not nearly the hype train.
Well, not yet. We haven't seen the trailer or anything yet.
It's not going to have the hype train that Top Gun Maverick has. No way. We've been waiting 35 years.
I know. I get what you're saying, but I want to say that you might be a little bit wrong, because this is, as far as what I've heard, is his last Impossible movie.
I mean, I've seen all of the Mission Impossible movies. They're okay, relatively entertaining movies. But they're not, like 7 cannot be compared to a movie we've been waiting 35 years to see. There's no way.
I got you.
It's just not going to have the same effect.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who love the Mission Impossible movies, and yeah, this is his last movie, but I mean, it's Top Gun is what made Tom Cruise's career.
No, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. But there's a lot of people there's people that weren't even born and when Top Gun came out. So like 35 years is a long time. There's a large group of people from 16 to 35 that never even saw Top Gun, or didn't see it in theaters, don't really remember it fondly, don't really care so much about it. While those same people have been watching Mission Impossible for the last decade.
Yeah, no, I would agree. There are people who probably enjoy the Mission Impossible movies and go see it, but I'm talking about the excitement level. I mean, people are going to go see that movie. It's just going to happen. It's very rare also to get the Navy's buy off on a movie.
Yeah, no, I get you. I want to see it. But if you ask me right now, hey, we can go see Mission Impossible 7 or Top Gun Maverick, which one do you want to see first? Okay, because I wasn't one of the people that watched Top Gun in theaters, I'd be like, maybe 7. It would be a choice for me. It would 100% be a choice for me, because I've been following Mission Impossible. And I did eventually see Top Gun, but I was in my late teens, and by then it was, the hype was over. I didn't see it in theaters. Like those people that saw the original Star Wars in theaters, it's a special thing for them. I didn't get to see the original Star Wars in theaters. I fell in love with the original Star Wars trilogy only because our father, it was one of the few movies he would allow me to watch, right?
Right.
Because I had an Amish bring up. You guys don't know this, but I actually grew up in an Amish household. Yes, we only had one VCR, and the whole town came over to watch one movie, which was Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah, not Amish, but I like the representation.
Anyways,
let me explain something to you about this whole Maverick thing that you probably don't even realize.
Right.
Top Gun was one of those movies that got complete 100% Navy buy-off. It doesn't happen. Trust me. I was in the Navy. What I did for a living was help get these movies made.
Right.
The Navy to approve a movie is a big deal. They approve things, but Top Gun they approved it. I mean, they actually, put cameras in places you don't normally put places. They were out on aircraft carriers doing things they don't normally get to do, completely buy off. So guess what? This movie, Maverick, is also getting that same level that probably hasn't happened since maybe Battleship, when Battleship was made. Not a great movie, but the Navy's last time they really bought off on something was probably that movie.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, you're right. Not a great movie, but I actually enjoyed that movie.
All right, Transformers at Sea. Yeah, I got you.
No, it wasn't Transformers at Sea, though. It was a little more believable than Transformers. A little more.
The problem is people don't want to follow around a bunch of enlisted people for a story. I hate to say it, but for whatever reason, you want it to be the captain or the XO or somebody important to what's happening on the ship.
Yeah, you're right. But the concept of Battlefield, where they're like, we want to make a movie that's based on this game, Battlefield. We have all these earthquake monitors out there, and they use the earthquake.
Well, it was Battleship. Okay, yeah, it was based on the game. Gotcha.
It was based on the game. That was if someone goes, Shane, I need you to write a movie script. It needs to be based on the game Battleship.
Okay.
It needs to be, and it can't just be a name only. It needs to be a callback to the game Battleship, which is super simple, has no lore, nothing, right?
Okay.
And you're like, oh, okay. What about all these earthquake monitors out in the ocean? Those are like in zones, right? A25. It's like, oh, we'll use that. That was brilliant. And even if the movie wasn't good, that was a brilliant way to convert that game into a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a popcorn fest. Like you can enjoy it, sit down and watch it, but I'm not gonna watch it again.
And the
Probably ever.
giant chain that pulled the giant old destroyer around. That was cool, man.
Yeah, I'm probably never gonna watch it again though. And I'm a Navy guy.
I expected
So,
you to like it though, because you were in the Navy.
I did not really like it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it was like okay, like entertaining. It was like a 2.53 on the entertainment scale. So it wasn't
Wow.
like a waste of my money,
Okay. All right.
but I don't know. But you also have to remember that I lived it. So
That's
the
true.
reality is,
So Top Gun is more your speed because you're not falling around on Alyssa. You're falling around like this legend.
well, that's not, well, that's part of it. I think part of it is there's already a story in place that is a great story. That was a great movie. It's an inside look at what pilots go through that is fairly realistic in a lot of ways. That's kind of the attitudes of these guys and gals. So it's really a neat look inside. And I think Maverick is going to continue the story. What happened to to him after the events of the last movie? And now we're going to find out. We're going to find out that we're going to know. Val Kilmer's back, Iceman. He's playing an admiral.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get on that real quick. I know we don't have a whole lot more time, but I do want to
Right.
talk about Iceman because what is this thing about the whole AI thing? What was?
So to start out, Tom Cruise insisted that Val Kilmer appear in the Top Gun sequel. And Tom was a driving force to make this happen. Basically, Jerry Bruckheimer told people that Tom Cruise insisted Val Kilmer appear in the Top Gun sequel. He said that Cruise was very adamant that the sequel could not happen without Kilmer. I mean, Val Kilmer in the first Top Gun movie was I guess what you would consider the bad guy, even though there was no bad guy. He was the antagonist.
Yeah, antagonist. Yeah.
For Tom, the bad guy was really the Russians or whatever, but and their MiGs. But this whole battle between them, I think it's important that he comes back. And what he said is that So in the
he lost his ability to speak because of throat cancer. Oh my God!
Throat cancer, and he lost his ability to speak. And but Tom still wanted him back, so they're using this AI in order to get his voice, and apparently it sounds really, really good.
Wow.
Yeah, Bruckheimer said that that it was actually emotional for both of them to come back and for the whole experience was very emotional, and that Kilmer, I guess Val Kilmer, according to his son, is super, super excited about the sequel. So let me find out where
that is awesome, dude.
Isn't that cool?
Okay. All right. My opinion of this movie has now increased once again.
Now you're going to see it.
First off, I want to say I apologize for making fun of Val Kilmer earlier. That sucks. I didn't realize he had throat cancer. And I was making fun of him. My bad.
Well, he got fat first, and then he got throat cancer.
Okay, he did get fat first. Okay, that's fair. He got fat first. But I now I feel a little bad. But the fact that Tom was like, we need Val Kilmer back, and this dude was like, yo, he can't talk. How did we do that? And they still bring him back, and they use AI. I mean, that is, oh my God, that you don't understand how cool that is. Not just from like a technology point of view, but from a let's go all out to make this the best film ever, even if we have to invent new technology. Period. The end. That's amazing.
You have to respect Tom Cruise in this element. Like, I know that people make fun of him a lot because of his, ties to.
You can't say the word.
Really?
Yeah, you can't. It'll go throttled because of his ties to his odd religion.
His church, I guess.
Yeah.
Because of his ties to that. For whatever reason, people, they don't respect it, and that's fine. But you have to respect the man's game. Like, he is on his game. And
No.
when he makes a movie, he's all in.
No,
He's 100% all in.
Listen, he is personally, I think he's a weirdo. I think he's a weirdo with weird ideas.
Right.
Professionally, the guy is a straight thug. Like,
Yeah,
what a
that's
hustler.
that's basically what I'm talking about.
Yeah, maybe I don't like him personally, but I mean, his work ethic is extreme. I feel the same way about Will Smith. Like, I don't personally like Will Smith. Like, his ideas are, I don't know, his whole personal life is weird to me. I think he has problems. But his work ethic, when he makes a movie, he's up at 4 a.m. His crew's around. He's having them doing push-ups or doing jumping jacks. I've seen the videos. The guy is a hustler. These guys are hustlers, dude. There are people that made it in Hollywood because of the way they look and their raw talent, or a combination of two. And there are other people that made it in Hollywood because of their raw talent and their work ethic.
It's 100% true. 100% true. It looks like that his throat cancer was back from 2014. And what shed a lot of light on Val Kilmer right now is the fact that he does have this documentary. It is on Amazon, and it's actually being watched. It's actually going really, really well. He's 61 years old, and I got to tell you, Val Kilmer, in my opinion, played the best role, was the greatest actor in the best role of all time in Tombstone.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Tombstone.
I got to bring it up. If you're going to talk about Val Kilmer, you got to talk about his role as Doc Holliday. And in my opinion, it's like the pinnacle of acting for a role. So he'll always have that.
And we don't have time for this, and while I loved him in that movie and I love him in that role, I don't think he was the best Doc Holliday.
We're not going to go there because you're just 100% wrong.
I mean,
so
I understand this subject. Look, I can.
Let's take this to the member section.
Fine,
and we'll have that argument there.
Fine, I respect that role. I do. I love that movie, and I love him as Doc Holliday. But I loved the other Doc Holliday more. What's his name?
I can't even talk to you right now. I'm so.
I just did. I felt it was more realistic. He looked more sickly, and he just encompassed the realistic role more. Obviously,
Dennis Quaid did not do better than Val Kilmer. I'm so sorry.
Tombstone was a more
also like the other movie better.
It was a more glossed up version of that story, and I like it, but it's more popcorn. While Wyatt Earp's story was way more. I mean, it's 4 hours versus an hour.
Yeah, it was way more. What's the word? Boring. Yeah,
I can't believe that we're having this conversation where I'm the one that wants the longer, more boring movie, and you're the one that wants the popcorn movie with the pop soundtrack.
I want great acting. I want a good story. And you know what? Who knows what really happened at the shootout at the OK Corral? Nobody really knows.
I just think it's weird that this is the one movie where our roles are reversed.
Totally 100%. Because
any other movie, you want the more cerebral, longer, more theater, and I want the more explosions and weird lights.
That's true. But Tombstone is also my number one favorite movie of all time. So
listen. I love the movie. I'm not dogging the movie.
All the one-liners.
I just think that Wyatt Earp edges it out for real.
Wait, we're supposed to have this argument in like a few minutes.
You're right. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to go now. Listen, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below, guys. Are you looking forward to Maverick or nah?
And we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to stick around. We'll be right back.
Become a Popcast member by hitting the join button to get exclusive content, including special member live streams, Discord privileges, behind the scenes access, and so much more. Click join and let's hang out.